No, I'm sitting here next to you, and if you're going back inside, I'm following you inside, and if you're going home, I'm following you there too. Now, if I've done something to you, just tell me what I've done to you. And if I've said something to you, maybe I said something when I was drunk and I've forgotten it, but I don't think I said something when I was drunk and I've forgotten it. But if I did, then tell me what it was, and I'll say sorry for that too, Colin.
A scene from the movie The Banshees of Inisherin. That's in theaters today. And look at those beautiful scenes of the island of Inisherin off the west coast of Ireland, the backdrop to a film that reunites Colin Farrell, Brendan Gleeson, director Martin McDonagh. You saw them, I'm going to bet, back in 2008 on a project called In Bruges, but they're back with this one. And let us bring in Eli because he has seen it. He's here to tell us all about it. Nice to see you again. You know, I remember talking about that film In Bruges. It was really violent, wasn't it? Wasn't it really good, but really
like
violent?
A dark, black comedy.
Yes.
Certainly violent, had hitmen and all sorts of chaos. Yes.
But people loved it, and they loved the chemistry between, well, the two main actors, Colin Farrell, Brendan Gleeson. So they're back together. Tell us about, you know, the band's back together.
Exactly. The director and that amazing chemistry, and it shares that special kind of synergy, the more kind of frantic, almost puppy dog energy of Colin Farrell, and then Brendan Gleeson in more of kind of a contemplative sort of character. Now, what's interesting about this is Martin McDonagh is an Irish-born playwright, and here he has brought us back to Ireland, as you can see, and Ireland, not a contemporary Ireland, it's 1923, and so In Bruges had hitmen and psychopathic gangsters. This takes place on the little island of Inisherin off the coast of Ireland. It's a village, really. It's got one policeman, a few farmers, and Perrick and Combe. They are friends. Perrick has a couple cattle, a pony. Combe plays the fiddle. They're mates. They meet at the pub every day until they don't. Take a listen.
How do, Perrick?
Sit somewhere else.
Huh? But I have my pint there, Colin.
He has his pint there, Colin, from when he came in and ordered his pint before.
No. Okay. I'll sit somewhere else. So.
Now, there you go. Suddenly, the balance is disrupted. The bartender is concerned. Are you having a row with your friend? What's happening? And so he takes his pint and he goes outside, as you saw, to talk to who he thinks who's his friend. And he starts by apologizing. But I want you to watch in this next clip. It's a long clip. Watch Colin Farrell's expression on his face as Brendan Gleeson's character breaks the news and the information slowly sinks in. Watch carefully.
With all my heart, I'll say sorry. Just stop running away from me like some fool of a moody schoolchild.
But you didn't say anything to me. You didn't do anything to me.
Well, that's what I was thinking, like.
I just don't like you no more.
You do like me.
I don't.
You liked me yesterday.
Oh, did I? Yeah.
I thought you did.
I mean, you can see his heartbreak in real time. And to make matters worse, Heather, word gets around quickly that Combe and Perrick are having a row because it's a tiny little place. So now Perrick is unmoored. He's back at home rattling around with his sister who he lives with. He's asking her, do you think I'm dull? I'm not dull. He's reduced to drinking with Dominic, the town goon, played by Barry Keoghan. But Perrick can't quit his friend that easily. Stuff happens. They bump into each other. It's a small island, and so Combe is forced to raise the stakes.
If you don't stop talking to me,
Colin?
and if you don't stop bothering me, I have a set of shears at home, and each time you bother me from this day on, I'll take those shears and I'll take one of my fingers off with them, and I'll give that finger to you until I have no fingers left. Does this make things clearer to you?
Not really, no.
No, I mean, it doesn't make sense, but this is where we're going, and this is where kind of horror and hilarity start to mix.
I'm detecting that this is a film that struck a chord for you. To tell us more about, if I'm right in that, and tell us if that is the case indeed, Eli, why?
Look, I've already seen this twice, Heather, and it got better with the second viewing. There's this timeless quality of this island in 1923. You know, this director, he used to try and be cool. He used to try and compete with Tarantino. Now I think he's writing from the soul, and he's writing these elemental characters. Perrick is one of the good guys. He's not an intellectual. He's a kind-hearted man. He loves his sister. He loves his pet pony. He likes to have a pint. But Colm, played by Brendan Gleeson, is the artistic one. He stomps around Inisherin in this black trench coat. He plays the fiddle, and the reason for breaking things off with his friend is time. He feels the ticking of the clock. He wants to leave his mark. He wants to compose art, to have a legacy, not fill his days with aimless prattle. But the characters don't stop there. There's Perrick's sister, this fiercely intelligent and protective woman. There she is. There's Barry Keoghan playing the town dunce with this heartbreaking sincerity. There's this bastard of a policeman, and Miss McCormick, this woman, this hag, who haunts the island with her predictions. So you have this Irish stew. You have something closer to something like Waiting for Godot because of this like kind of timeless quality of these characters. It's not about a bromance. It's the opposite. It's a breakup. It's what comes between the friends. It's the calcification of men's hearts. And it's no coincidence that it's set during the Irish Civil War, this deadly skirmish over what began as a small disagreement and spun out of control. And so as these friends are arguing across the water, you hear these explosions. You hear gunfire. It's the heartbreak on Colin Farrell's face, the best acting I think he's ever done, thinking that being nice, being a good guy was enough, and how that frustration and anger warps him. It's the arrogance of Gleeson's character, his wisdom, but also too worried about eternity to think about what he's doing to his friend. And I think at a time, Heather, when it feels like our divisions are deepening, where we draw lines, we're just not talking to each other the way that we used to, it's a cautionary tale of what happens when you let those frustrations fester. It is hilarious until it's heartbreaking, and it is a masterpiece. 5 stars out of 5.
5 out of 5. One of the rare Eli 5 out of 5s. And now I understand the Oscar buzz that's growing for this one. Eli, you come in anytime and tell us about a great film like this one. I really appreciate it. We'll send people out to the theaters this weekend. Thank you, Eli.